Okay. Hi, Delsina. How are you?
I'm doing great, Douglas. For your call.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. It's nice to have you here. You've got a book that you're promoting called Sexy Senior Citizen. You want to hold it up?
Yes, I am so excited. This book is called Sexy Senior Citizen: How to Be Sleek, Sexy, and Strong as You Age. This is becoming such a hot topic today as seniors are living longer, they want more out of life, and they're not your old school senior grandmas or grandpas sitting around the house baking cookies.
Okay. Is this your first book, or have you written other books?
This is my first of hopefully many other books to come.
Okay. Why did you pick this topic?
Well, it's an interesting story. My grandmother and I are very close. She is going to be 98 years old this year.
Wow.
And I would go to visit her all the time. I'm originally from Central America, from Panama, but she and many of our family relocated to the States. And so she relocated to to Florida. So I would go to visit her every summer, and we just spend some time together, a couple of days. And I used to always admire the fact that she would always dress with such style and coordinating her purses and coordinating her hats. And she, at the time, she was about 85. And she would go to the senior citizens' homes and she would tell me, I'm going to help the old people to learn how to crochet. So she would go there, teach them how to crochet. She was always very stylish. And she says, you know what? I'm not old. I'm just a sexy senior citizen. And so I got that spark in my mind about being a sexy senior citizen because getting older can be scary, but if you approach it with a different type of mindset, it can be the beginning of a lot of great things. And my grandmother, still at the age of 98, she takes care of herself. She's been living by herself all this time until just recently. And so she reminded me of that, along with so many other old school sirens like Sophia Loren and Bridget Bardot, Raquel Welch. They grew older naturally, but still maintain an air of sexiness and confidence. And when I talk about sexiness, I think about confidence because when you're confident about what you do, you can approach life at any challenges. And part of what's in my book is actually a lot about challenges that I've overcome through getting to this age and what I'm looking for in the future. And since I have a background in nutrition and fitness and personal training, I try to tie in some nutrition, some fitness information, some glamour tips, and just showing different ways to get over tragedies or get over difficulties to move on to the best thing that's still yet to come.
Can I ask your age?
Yes, I will be 58 next month.
Okay. Is that considered senior citizen?
Well, it depends on where you go. As a matter of fact, you can, AARP sends you their magazine at the age of 50. McDonald's, Burger King, and Denny's give you a senior citizen discount at 55. But some places it's 60. Retirement is 62. So it all depends. So I look at this as more like a senior citizen in training because it's coming.
Well, I like that. And I like the approach. For me, I don't know. I think I took a different approach because for me, being a senior citizen was the best excuse not to be sexy. Like I just didn't care anymore. I've been married for 15 years and we're comfortable with each other and I'm not trying to impress anybody and I can just relax. But I get what you're saying and I appreciate it. Okay, so give us a tip. What can we do?
Well, one of the best tips that you can do as we get older is value your body like a fine Porsche or race car. You wouldn't put junk in your Porsche, you wouldn't put junk in a Ferrari, right? So when it comes to getting older, high quality food is critical because the food is going to nourish your body and it's going to nourish your brain. And if your body is healthy and strong, then your brain is healthy and strong. And if your brain is healthy and strong, then you can have a better outlook on the things around you in your life and deal with them in a better way.
So you're talking about eliminating processed foods and high fatty
And
foods
not
and
necessarily eliminating, because I find that whenever you tell someone not to do something, That's what they end up doing, right?
True. Yeah.
So, my approach to it is learn how to add more to your meals. So, learn how to add more green stuff to whatever you're eating already. Even if it's a hamburger, add lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions. You made a burger salad. Add more vegetables to a pizza. It's not about taking anything away, just thinking about how you can add better things to what you're currently doing. And believe me, I'm not going to tell anybody to stop drinking wine because I love wine. But like anything in life, moderation is the key. So that is got to be one of the key things. A healthy body is a healthy mind, and a healthy mind is a sexy mind.
One of your talking points that I wanted to bring up was his staying fit while traveling. Now, I know I do a lot of traveling, and traveling is the most difficult time to try to eat right because you're on a schedule. If you're going through airports, there's always a McDonald's. And after a long flight, for some reason, that greasy cheeseburger just tastes so good. I don't know,
Yes,
must be the
that is.
dry air on the airplane or whatever. But how do you do it? How do you, eat right and stay fit while you're traveling?
Well, I travel a lot too. I love traveling. So, a really good and simple thing to do to stay healthy and be fit when you travel is drink lots of water. Drinking lots of water, of course, is going to hydrate you. It's going to put some substance in your belly. It's going to make you have that slight full feeling of fullness and keep your system working well, even while you're eating high fat foods and drinking that martini in the lounge or getting that burger at the end of the day. That's going to go a long way to helping you to maintain. And then oftentimes people don't think that they do a lot of movement when you travel, but when you're, as you know, when you're going through airports, you're doing quite a bit of walking. So being prepared to walk, to stand up and sit down as frequently as you can, and to basically just be conscious of being more active when you're out. Not because when you're traveling, it's like you said, it's hard to think about, oh, I'm going to get a salad or I'm going to, not drink any alcohol. And oftentimes because of the stress and the hurried pace, that's the last thing we're thinking about. So drinking lots of water and just staying as active as possible.
Let's do just a little bit about the author, and then we'll wrap it up with your book. So currently, you are a certified wellness instructor, practitioner. Yeah.
Practitioner. Yeah,
Okay.
wellness practitioner.
Okay. Prior to that, you were in the military.
Yes, I was in the military and medically retired after about 26 years. As the curious thing about it is one of my first chapters talks about my time in the military, which actually created a pivotal point into why I decided to start looking at life with a more um, optimistic point of view. And I talk about an incident that actually happened on Fort Hood many years ago, which I was caught right in the middle of it on in a mass shooting. But from that incident, I tell the story about it. I got a perspective about life that changed my trajectory. So I was in the military. After that, I ran my own business as a personal trainer, and nutrition coach. And so I'm still certified in those areas, and I'm using those skills right now, working at a Adventist hospital, doing their wellness training, their wellness programming, and for the community also.
Okay. I do remember the Fort Hood shooting. How close were you to that?
Well, there were two shootings. The one that I was involved in was in 2014, and I was actually one of the soldiers in the medical brigade where the shooter came through. And uh, we had to run for. I was in the same building where they shot several soldiers. My friend, one of them got shot in the stomach. He barely made it through. The front guy in the front desk got shot and killed. We had to escape through a window as he was banging on our door. And soon after he exited the building, that's when he was killed by the military police. So I was right there.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember that one. That one was one of the more famous ones. I mean, it's unfortunate that we've had so many in the United
Yeah.
States that it becomes like a blur. Oh, which one was that? But
Yes. If it
yeah,
was a rare thing and something so shocking, and now, like you said, it's almost become passe, and it's sad that it's at that point.
yeah, it really is. Okay, so how is the book set up? If I pick up the book and start reading it, how is it formatted? Is it personal stories, or is it do this, do that, or what am I going to expect?
Okay, the way I had it set up is so that it feels like a conversation with you and me. And I'm telling you personal stories and giving you insights on the lessons learned from those stories. And then at the end of each chapter, some ideas and tips on how you can apply the things within each story. I start out primarily, though, prefacing the reader that um, the challenges are primarily from a woman's perspective because we have so many challenges just being female and traversing this world, this environment, and when so much is expected of us. And when we have the opportunity to stop worrying about what's expected of us, then we can really shine and be the best version of ourselves. Now, it doesn't mean that men can't read it, but because you're going to still learn, like I told you the story about the Fort Hood incident, you're going to learn about eating whole foods, you're going to learn about mindset and mentality, but they're told in stories that you can relate and you actually enjoy reading. It's not a how-to book, it's not a step-by-step, but it's a casual conversation with me and the reader.
Do you think it's more difficult for women to stay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, all right. There's,
We have to do everything twice as hard, twice as fast,
you think there's
and we
more?
have to do it with a smile and high heels.
Okay, well, that's a good point. But do you think there's more pressure on women to look beautiful than there is for men to look handsome?
Absolutely, especially with social media as pervasive as it is now. We try to grow above it, but it's difficult to avoid. And that's one reason a lot of women have this unfortunate self-hate because we see these pictures in the media about, of these girls with these perfect little bodies. And we know we're not 20 years old. We know we're not 30. We don't want to necessarily be that, but you get bombarded so much that it becomes part of your self-consciousness. And so when you start thinking negatively about your own self, it shows up in everything that you do. And that's one of the things I talk about in the book, Sexy Senior Citizen, is the negative talk that we do to ourselves internally transforms us externally. So I give some tips on how to address that so that you can become changing your mindset. And once you change your mindset, approach things from a different perspective. Now, men, you guys, and you've seen it, balding, big belly beard guys with a beautiful, skinny young blonde on their hands. But if a woman is beautiful and she has an unattractive man, people start talking.
Well, okay, true enough. Yeah. I think on that one, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on the show. The book is called, can you hold it up again?
Sexy Senior Citizen: How to Stay Sleek, Sexy, and Strong as You Age.
The book is out, right?
Yes, it is. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. You can also go to my website, which is dwestcoaching.com. And there's a link on there where you can get the book and learn more about me and learn more about my coaching and nutrition coaching and counseling.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. This was fun. And best of luck with the book. And I hope to see more books coming from you.
Great. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it.